If lately you've noticed your legs swelling at the end of the day, a burning or pressure sensation when walking, or waking up at night with intense cramps, this video is going to give you answers you may have never heard before. Because what many people think are just signs of aging are actually very clear signals that your circulation is failing. And the most dangerous part isn't what you feel, it's what you don't feel yet. Poor circulation doesn't appear suddenly. It's a silent progression. It starts with small symptoms that almost no one associates with a vascular problem. A tingling here, unusual fatigue there. You put on socks and they leave marks. You think, well, it must be age. But it's actually your vascular system quietly asking for help. And if you don't listen, that whisper can turn over the years into visible varicose veins, heavy legs, wounds that don't heal well, or worse, a thrombosis or ischemia that could change your life forever. In this video, I'm going to show you the signs that indicate your circulation is already compromised, even if you haven't been diagnosed yet. But more importantly, I'm going to show you small daily habits you can start incorporating today to improve circulation and restore vitality in your legs. Because yes, it is possible to reverse many of these symptoms if you know what you're doing. And no, you don't need lifelong medication or expensive surgeries. We'll talk about the 4 most common mistakes that sabotage circulation without you realizing it, and 5 habits that can make a difference even in people over 70. I'll give real examples of patients who thought nothing could be done, but today, walk pain-free thanks to these changes. And at the end, I'll tell you about something I didn't expect to find. A common fruit, forgotten by most, that has a natural vasodilatory effect so powerful that some studies compare it to medications for venous insufficiency, but without side effects. Mistake number 1. Sitting for long periods even if you exercise. One of the biggest and most common mistakes that sabotages circulation isn't failing to exercise, as many people think. It's sitting for too long during the day. Even if you go to the gym in the morning, even if you take an hour-long walk in the evening, if you spend more than 6 hours straight sitting, whether working, watching TV, or reading, you are contributing to the deterioration of your vascular system. The human body is designed to move regularly, consistently, and in varied ways. One intense exercise session isn't enough if you remain inactive for the rest of the day. In fact, the latest studies in vascular medicine make this clear. Prolonged sedentary behavior, even if interrupted by occasional physical activity, significantly increases the risk of venous insufficiency, thrombosis, and impaired venous return in the legs. When you sit for long periods, especially with your knees bent at a right angle, the veins at the back of your legs are partially compressed. This makes it harder for blood to return to the heart, causing it to pool in the lower body. Venous blood becomes denser, more prone to inflammation, and more likely to form clots. This leads to swollen legs, feelings of heaviness, nighttime cramps, or even persistent redness in the ankles. What's most alarming is that many of my patients say, "But doctor, I walk every day." And it's true, but walking for an hour in the evening doesn't compensate for sitting 8 to 10 hours straight. What matters isn't just how much you move, but how often you interrupt inactivity. The solution is simple and powerful. Every 45 minutes of sitting, you should get up for at least 3 minutes. You don't need to run or do complex stretches. Just stand up, walk around the room a little, move your ankles, or go up a couple of steps. Those 3 minutes restart venous flow, activate the leg muscle pump, and prevent stagnant blood from accumulating. For older adults, this is even more crucial. A study by the U.S. National Institute on Aging showed that older adults who interrupted their sedentary time every hour had a 31% lower risk of developing chronic venous insufficiency compared to those who didn't, even if both groups walked the same total amount each day. And here's a tip I always give in my consultations. Set a silent alarm, a vibration on your watch, or a reminder app every 45 minutes. You don't have to stop working. Just get up and move a little. If you do this consistently for 2 weeks, you'll notice your legs feel less heavy, swell less, and you'll sleep better at night. Mistake 2. Not staying properly hydrated, even if you're not thirsty. This mistake is silent but extremely dangerous. Many older adults and even younger adults believe that if they're not thirsty, they don't need to drink water. But here's the problem. The feeling of thirst is delayed. Your body needs water, even if it doesn't signal it clearly. When it doesn't get enough, your blood becomes thicker, slower, and your circulation suffers. Imagine this. Blood is like a river. If the river carries enough water, it flows strongly, cleans the banks, and carries away debris. But if the river starts to dry up, the flow slows down, becomes murky, and stagnation occurs. That's exactly what happens in your circulatory system when you don't drink enough water. Even mild dehydration, no need for it to be extreme, reduces blood plasma volume, making it more viscous. This forces your heart to work harder to pump it. In areas farthest from the heart, like your legs and feet, blood flow is drastically reduced. The result? Cold legs, cramps, tingling, swelling, and in advanced cases, clot formation. But that's not all. Poor hydration also directly affects the walls of your veins and arteries. When water is lacking, the body activates compensatory mechanisms that increase blood pressure, which damages vessels and accelerates vascular aging. Additionally, electrolytes become unbalanced, making muscle contraction and venous return more difficult. So, how much water do you really need? Most people need between 1.5 and 2 liters a day, but it's not an exact number. If you live in a hot climate, take diuretics, exercise, or talk a lot during the day, your need increases. Here's the key. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Drink water consciously, as part of your daily health routine. A practical method I recommend is to keep a 500 milliliter glass or stainless steel bottle nearby and aim to refill it at least 4 times a day. Ideally, spread it throughout the day, upon waking, half an hour before meals and before bed. You can add a slice of lemon, a few mint leaves, or cucumber to make it more appealing if plain water is difficult for you. If you struggle to remember, use anchors. For example, take a sip every time you check the clock, or every time you go to the bathroom. Making it a habit is what makes the difference. A Harvard University study with over 800 older adults showed that those who maintained proper hydration had a 41% lower risk of vascular disease and reported higher overall energy, less fatigue, and fewer leg and foot pains. Here's a simple tool that can help. Check the color of your urine. If it's clear or light yellow, you're doing well. If it's dark or concentrated, you need to drink more. It's a quick and free internal gauge. Now that you know how water, a basic yet often overlooked resource, can transform your circulation, get ready. Mistake 3 is just as common but even less known, and it has to do with the way you breathe every day. Mistake 3, breathing poorly without realizing it and sabotaging your circulation from within. It may sound strange, but the way you breathe directly affects how your blood flows. Have you ever felt cold hands or feet for no reason, or a kind of mental fog, as if your brain isn't getting enough oxygen? The cause could be a habit so automatic that you don't even notice it. Shallow, rapid breathing. Many people breathe only with the upper part of their chest. It's a short, rapid breath that barely engages the diaphragm. The problem is that this way of breathing doesn't properly move oxygen, doesn't massage the lymphatic vessels, and doesn't stimulate venous return. In fact, poor breathing can reduce cellular oxygenation by up to 30%, which affects your energy, concentration, and, yes, your circulation too. Breathing well doesn't just fill your lungs, it moves your blood, improves lymphatic drainage, relaxes your blood vessels, and optimizes your heart's function. Want a quick solution you can start today? Try this simple exercise 3 times a day for 1 minute. Take deep breaths from your abdomen. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold the air for 2 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. This type of breathing activates the parasympathetic system, relaxes your arteries, and improves blood flow to your legs, brain, and heart. Small changes like this, even if they seem minor, have a huge impact if done consistently. Because circulation doesn't depend solely on medications or surgeries, it depends mostly on what you do every day, even without realizing it. Now let's move on to the fourth mistake, which is at the root of the problem for millions of people. Mistake 4. Keeping your legs down for hours and thinking nothing happens. This mistake is so common that most people don't even recognize it as a problem. But if you spend long hours sitting at the office, watching TV, or even reading with your legs down, you're sabotaging your circulation without realizing it. When you stay in that position for hours, the blood in your legs has to fight gravity to return to the heart. If you don't move, that blood starts to pool. You don't notice it immediately, but over time clear symptoms appear. Swollen ankles, a feeling of heaviness, nighttime cramps, tingling, or even visible veins that weren't there before. What's most concerning is that venous stagnation isn't just an aesthetic issue. It can lead to much more serious problems like chronic venous insufficiency, thrombosis, or hard-to-heal ulcers. So what can you do? You don't need to become an athlete or quit your job, but you do need to move. Every 45 minutes, get up and walk for at least a minute. Do circular ankle movements, rise onto your toes, and lower back down several times. These small actions activate the muscle pump in your legs, which is responsible for returning blood to the heart. If for some reason you can't move much, consider elevating your legs for about 20 minutes a day, resting them against a wall or on a cushion. This simple act lets gravity work in your favor and reduces pressure in the veins. Remember this, your legs are like a second heart. If you keep them inactive for hours, you're shutting down a fundamental part of your circulatory system. But if you move them intelligently, even for a few minutes a day, you can reactivate circulation, reduce swelling, and prevent long-term complications. Mistake 5. Drinking just enough to avoid going to the bathroom, unknowingly staying dehydrated. Even the most health-conscious people make this mistake. It's the habit of drinking only a little water each day, just enough to avoid dry mouth or frequent trips to the bathroom. Sounds practical, right? But what many don't know is that this habit directly affects the health of their circulatory system, especially after age 60. When your body is dehydrated, even mildly but chronically, your blood becomes thicker and denser. What does that mean? Your heart has to work harder to pump it, the risk of blood pooling in your extremities increases, and the likelihood of silent clot formation starts to grow without you noticing. Worse, not feeling thirsty doesn't mean you're hydrated. With age, the thirst mechanism becomes less reliable. Many older adults can go all morning without drinking a single glass of water and feel fine, but their blood, veins, and heart are already feeling the effects. A review published in the Journal of Physiology showed that even mild dehydration can significantly reduce plasma volume and impair venous return, causing swelling in the legs and feet and a general feeling of fatigue. This is especially serious for people with hypertension or venous return issues, where blood already circulates with difficulty. Now let's talk practical solutions. This isn't about drinking liters and liters without thinking. The key is consistency and quality. Start the day with a glass of lukewarm water as soon as you wake up. This awakens your circulatory system, slightly thins the blood, and helps the body eliminate toxins accumulated overnight. During the day, instead of waiting to feel thirsty, set fixed times. 1 glass of water between meals, 1 with each meal, and another before bed if it doesn't interfere with your sleep. If plain water is hard for you to drink, you can infuse it with cucumber slices, lemon, mint leaves, or a bit of ginger. Not only does it improve the taste, but it also adds vasodilatory and antioxidant benefits that protect your arteries. Remember, many fruits are high in water and minerals that support circulation. Watermelon, strawberries, pineapple, melon. Including them in your diet also counts as smart hydration. Here's an extra tip that very few people know. Drinking water in small amounts while moving, for example while walking, improves absorption and stimulates peripheral circulation more effectively than drinking it while completely at rest. In short, it's not just about drinking water. It's about understanding that hydration is a silent fuel your blood needs to flow easily. Improve this, and you improve everything. Your blood pressure, the health of your veins, your energy levels, and you significantly reduce the risk of silent circulatory diseases. The best part is you can start today. Mistake 7. Not listening to what your body is telling you. There's a mistake you can't see, but that comes at a high cost: ignoring the signals. Many people live with swollen legs, a feeling of heaviness, nighttime cramps, or small dilated veins, thinking it's normal with age, but it's not. It's your body warning you that something is wrong with your circulation. Every time you ignore that warning, you take one step closer to bigger problems: venous insufficiency, varicose veins, ulcers, or thrombosis. Your body doesn't shout all at once. Its first signals are soft, almost whispered: mild discomfort at the end of the day, a sock mark that doesn't disappear, a warm sensation in the ankles. If ignored, the volume increases until one day what was a temporary annoyance becomes a chronic problem. The key is to observe and act in time. If your legs change throughout the day, become puffy, hard, or feel heavy, don't let it pass. Evaluate your habits, check your diet, improve your posture, and consult a professional if needed. The most powerful thing you can do for your health isn't buying a cream or taking a supplement. It's learning to listen. No one knows your body like you do. When you learn to interpret it, you become your best medicine. Ignoring the warnings is easy, until it's too late. Listening in time can make all the difference. Now that we've reached the end of this journey, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this. How much of what you felt in your body, the fatigue in your legs, cold feet, dizziness, that constant feeling of heaviness, have you accepted as normal just because someone told you it's part of aging? Here's news that perhaps no one has dared to say out loud. It's not normal, it's not inevitable, and you don't have to resign yourself. Every one of the mistakes we've explored today, every habit that blocks your circulation, has a counterpart, a solution, a daily action, a choice that can reopen the pathways where your vitality flows. I am Dr. Margaret Ellis, and if there's one thing I've learned in all these years of working with patients like you, it's that when the body begins to restore circulation, everything changes. Energy improves, memory improves, sleep improves, mood improves, even hope improves. Because yes, this goes beyond arteries and veins. It's about feeling that you can trust your body again, that you can walk without fear of falling, that you can sleep without your legs waking you, that you can face the future not with resignation, but with the power of someone who has regained control. And that power starts here, today. Not tomorrow, not when the symptoms get worse, today. The longer you wait, the more the circle closes, but the sooner you start, the sooner you'll notice changes. If this video has helped you, I invite you to do something for yourself and those around you. Share it. Many people live with these problems without knowing that simple, natural, effective solutions exist. You can be the bridge between someone and the information they needed. Remember, your health is in motion, and all movement begins with a decision. See you in the next video.